How's it going, people? Welcome back to the Arsenal news video. Of course, we give update of all the latest Arsenal news every single day. If you don't want to miss anything, make sure you guys do subscribe to the channel if we are on the road now to 11,000 subscribers. We've got some big news to talk about as always. We're just going to start with Fabrizio updating us on Gyokeres. We're talking a few other, interesting news that came out yesterday as well. Make sure you guys hit like buttons. That would be greatly appreciated. And of course, it does boost the video out there as well. Hope everyone's doing well. And this, without further ado, get right into the news. We start with a Brit show on Viktor Gyokeres.
Viktor Gyokeres, guys, let me clarify something on this story because I was telling you that he will be available for less than the release clause, and I can confirm that. So let's say that Gyokeres, after a pact he has with the president of Sporting, him and his agents, he could be available for something around 65, 70 million euros package with the add-ons. So we have to see the structure of the package, how it works in terms of payment terms, all these sort of details. But still available for less than the release clause, and that's an important point. Gyokeres, all Manchester United fans, all asking me about Gyokeres. He could be an option for Man United. Still, yes, for sure, he remains a player appreciated by Ruben Amorim, but it's not something granted. It's not a done deal, as someone was saying in January, February, okay, for sure we'll go to Man United. It's an open story for several clubs, including also Arsenal, because also Arsenal appreciate the player. The new director, Andrea Berta, likes for sure the qualities of Viktor Gyokeres. Is a player he was already tracking last summer for Atletico Madrid. So he's for sure one of the names in the list at Arsenal, appreciated by Man United, especially by Ruben Amorim, but again, depends on fair play. And so Gyokeres will for sure be leaving Sporting this summer. Forget about Gyokeres staying, the idea is to leave, the idea is to go, and so it's going to be soon time to make a decision. I will keep you posted on that. Also important, guys, to mention.
So there we go then. Fabrizio coming out and saying that Gyokeres is definitely leaving in the summer. There's no guarantee that he'll stay, and it's definite that he'll be moving on from Sporting Lisbon. It's just whether what club will he end up at. Interesting you mentioned Man United there. I feel like he's mentioned Man United because of the whole Ruben Amorim effect in terms of he's his old manager. He worked so well with Ruben Amorim, with Sporting, very successful with Sporting when Ruben Amorim was there. And it would, going back to he want to play, he's used playing under him in the Premier League. Maybe he'll feel more comfortable because he's already know the manager, etc. And of course, you mentioned Arsenal, as we know, very very interested. Andrea Berta, a big fan of Gyokeres, was trying to get him even at Atletico before even came to Arsenal as well. Now Gyokeres' agent was reportedly at the game, Arsenal's match against Real Madrid. Obviously, the Champions League game, he was there. He was watching the game apparently. But I've seen this before. I've heard it before. I remember when Sesko agent was at the game a few years ago, maybe last season, wasn't he? He was at the game. And that's never really happened there as well. So listen, I don't really buy into what that means that he's definitely coming to Arsenal because his agent was there. I think we've seen many agents go to games for Arsenal, and obviously nothing's happened with it. But he was interesting how he says the price tag for Gyokeres has decreased, 65 million euros now. With that's everything included with the add-ons and everything like that. For Gyokeres, 65 million euros, which I think is probably around 60 mil, 55 million, something pounds. That is. So that is when you look into this market nowadays and how much teams want for strikers, right? Gyokeres' price tag is cheap when you compare it to other strikers, across the world. I know we're talking about Isak. They want 100 and however much it is, over 100 million for these. But Gyokeres, I think even Sesko is like around 70 million. So, for 65 million euros with add-ons as well, all included, that is a bargain I look at nowadays. So, a striker like Viktor Gyokeres as well, for me, is an absolute bargain. And the price is there. Obviously, it's down to the player, as we know as well. Um, you know, he's definitely leaving. That's the main thing that we've got to keep an eye on. Definitely, whether it be to Arsenal remains to be seen. But definitely one we've got to keep an eye on. Andrea Berta's a big fan. There's that in there as well. His agent has been spotted at the game. Arteta's had to apparently talk to the agent as well as a Berta. Arteta is good friends with the agent as well. Don't know how much that's going to play in effect. Or could he go to more Man United with his old manager? Amarin wants to call him over. Wants to manage him again. Time will tell this one. But some news there about Gyokeres, he's definitely leaving. Yeah, there's no room for him staying in Sporting in terms of he's done his time over there. He smashed up the league over there. He wants a new challenge, clearly, whether that be to the Premier League, Arsenal, Man United, remains to be seen, and definitely we'll have to wait and see what happens in the summer. I've said enough about all I've said about Gyokeres is an absolute no-brainer. He'd be perfect for Arsenal. He's a striker we've been missing. He's a prolific striker we've been missing. He brings quite a bit to the team, and I've seen this guy enough. He's already been in England. He's already been in Coventry, physical league. He's come and done it in the Premier League, people. In terms of can he do it in the Premier League, that's a big question mark. He's already proved that he can do it in the Championship. We're seeing players come from the Championship to Premier League. He's already proved that he can do it on European big stage as well. Champions League, we're seeing him absolutely rip apart teams left, right, and centre. So, yeah, Viktor Gyokeres for me, 65 million is an absolute bargain. Especially, we can use that money, get in our striker, and then we'll have money left over to get, of course, other positions there. But what about this one? Of course, we've got Ornstein this time reporting this yesterday on obviously a very good player, in fact, a very, very good player. And I actually saw this guy. I remember watching this guy before he even burst into the scene. And not many people were talking about him when he was at Roma and also Juventus as well. He spent some good time in Italy, and I actually remember seeing his name fly around there before he's obviously at Bournemouth and had his breakout season. But Dean Huijsen, of course, Liverpool are among the clubs. This is coming from Ornstein as well. Liverpool are among the clubs with firm interest in Dean Huijsen. Chelsea have inquired and Arsenal in the mix too. At the moment, those are perhaps the three leading contenders, but not the only ones, with Newcastle and Tottenham also keen. I believe they were all held meetings, conversations with Huijsen's camp in the last week, but I'm not aware of any offers being made just yet. So the direction of the travel remains unclear. I think there's a desire to part. I think there's a desire on the part of Bournemouth and the player to have this situation decided as soon as possible. The 50 million release clause makes it clean and potentially quick to do. Um, at the time of the writing, it looks like most probably he'll be joining another Premier League club. Arsenal's a big trickle with Saliba and Gabriel for now, but Kivior was to be sold. You can envision Huijsen playing Invage. Huijsen playing a long part of their centre back unit. From what I hear, Mikel Arteta and Andre Alberto are huge fans of Spanish international. So there we go. Honestly, saying that Arteta, but they're a huge fan of Dean Huijsen. As we know, Arsenal only looks like to make a move if Kivior does get sold, which most likely will happen as well. I know there's quite a few Italian clubs looking at Kivior. So if he moves on, we know we need a bit more cover there, I'll say anyway, getting another defender. Someone like Dean Huijsen, who's definitely burst into the scene. He's looked fantastic when I watched this guy this season as well. He's got his reward as well by playing for Spain. He played. He's getting caps for Spain now. The European champions. Fantastic to see him playing for his country there as well. I've seen him at Bournemouth, and as I said, I watched him a bit. I heard his name go around it in Serie A, and now he's finally got burst onto the scene. He looks a very, very talented player, and certainly a player that I love. Would be fantastic cover. Already doing it in the Premier League as well. Looking like he wants to go to Premier League, but we're not the only clubs in there. I think honestly, he's on about 50 clubs looking at him as well. And I swear, I remember a few months ago, Real Madrid were trying to look at this guy as well to sign him. But yeah, someone like Dean Huijsen would be fantastic to come in. 50 million release clause, you're paying for a bit of cover there though, because is he going to get over Sleeman Gabriel? I don't think he is, to be honest with you. But as cover, I think it'd be really, really good. But 50 mil release clause, we can pay the release clause, would be good. But are we going to go for him? I can kind of see him, and I can kind of see another club beating him to him, if I'm being honest, because I just feel like Kivior being sold will take a bit of time than it really should do. So we have to wait and see what happens this one, people. But some interesting news there. Arsenal in the race among teams. They're in contention to sign Dean Huijsen from Bournemouth. So the final piece of news, not transfer related, it's actually a bit of news about Arsenal's pre-season tour, 2025 tour. Arsenal will be going to Asia, Singapore, Hong Kong, and confirmed Arsenal face AC Milan on Wednesday, the 23rd of July, as well as Newcastle on the Sunday, 27th of July, in Singapore as part of preparations for the 25-26 season. Both matches will be played at the 55,000 capacity National Stadium and will kick off at 7:30 local time, which is probably ridiculous. It's probably ridiculous time for over here in the UK. I don't know the time difference over there. So I also play Milan, I also play Newcastle, I also play Tottenham as well, and we play Man United again. I think we're playing 4 teams over there in Asia, and then we may come back. And because we didn't have it last year, I'm pretty sure we have the Emirates Cup this year as coming up this year as well, We don't usually have Emirates Cup when it's a World Cup or Euros competition for international based. But this time around, there's no competition, is there? So there will be most likely the Emirates Cup coming. Uh, and then there could be some other behind closed door friendlies that we usually play here and there as well. So we've got big pre-seasons to look forward to over there. Looking for the Asian fan base over there. I'm sure there's lots of Arsenal fans from Asia. I think we went to Singapore a few years ago, didn't we? 2019. So yeah, we've been there before already. But yeah, should be good, man. Should be good. Of course, you know, we my only thing with this is like fair enough. We're playing AC Milan. That'll be a good game. But Newcastle, Tottenham, Liverpool, Man United. I know Tottenham's a big one because it's going to be the first North London derby away from England. But Newcastle and Man United, I mean, the Premier League clubs, we're going to play them 2 times a season already. Like, can we not play? I want to play against Real Madrid's people in the preseason. I want to play against Barcelona's. I want to play against PSG's. I want to play against, Atleti's. I want to play against these big teams, mate. With all due respect, because we play Premier League already, man. Let's test ourselves. Go away or let's go play some Saudi teams, yeah. Or let's go play some Inter Miami, Messi settings and all that. Let's go and do a bit of that, but. Now, of course, this is the preseason there. Just some news there about preseason, guys. Thanks for anyone who watched the video today. As always, we're here every single day. So if you're not already, hit the like button and subscribe. It'd be greatly appreciated. And Arsenal do play tomorrow against Brentford. Premier League is back, but then of course the big one we look forward to is Wednesday night as Arsenal face Real Madrid in the second leg. Until tomorrow, guys, I'll catch you there. And thanks for anyone who watched, and I'll see you in my next one.